You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today with the old School Shakespeare of Omaha and talking with Jay Hayden. They are the captain and an actor in this production. And Grace Grennan, she is the first mate. That's sort of like a photographer this time around. We'll talk about that. And she is also with this production. What is this production that they're doing? A Midsummers Nights Dream, and we're going to talk to them about it. Welcome all. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. It's really exciting to get a chance to talk to you about this because I know that you have started Old School Shakespeare in the last year or two, and you're still going, which is great.
Yes.
And you've got more planned. So, yeah, can you tell us a little bit about A Midsummer's Night Dream and how you're going to be approaching this production?
Yes.
I'm so excited for this show. It's perfect time of summer.
Yeah.
There's so many cool things that obviously our conceit with Old School Shakespeare is that we only do one rehearsal with our actors. Before we perform the show in kind of non-traditional locations.
Serious actors, no director, one rehearsal.
Which is really fun.
Yeah.
And with that, right, there was so much energy and excitement when we pulled everyone together to read through the play for the first time. And the only time before we'll do the whole thing together. And just kind of push ourselves all out of the bird's nest, so to speak.
So obviously every show's a little bit different.
Right.
Midsummer, very, very, well done. Most people have read it in high school, did it in high school, done the monologue, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So, you have your different sects of groups, the mechanicals versus the lovers versus the Athenians and the fairies and that kind of thing. So I'm excited to see because we are leaning, I feel like, into summer solstice a little bit, obviously into the magical parts of this. You can't not lean into the magical parts of Midsummer.
Oh, yeah.
But also contrasting that with the Athenian, rules-oriented area. So I'm looking forward to just bringing that into a modern area. And I'm excited for the actors to just really to bring that into a modern place, but also in an environmental place. So it's a very, obviously we are in the audience. We're very environmental. Everybody is interacting. You're very authentic. You're seeing the person next to you. And it's very exciting to see how that's going to intermix with the magical parts of Midsummer and what that can mean. I think one of the ideas was to, when someone is quote unquote asleep, to put sunglasses on them because we don't want them to be lying on the floor.
Okay,
because sometimes we still have to move around. So I think that'll be so it's going to be magical with modern, and I'm looking forward to that.
Cool. I love it. And speaking and just to look back just a little bit, the last production you guys did, we talked to you right before you got started. How did that turn out for you? How did you like it?
Oh, Caesar was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, we did Caesar back in the spring.
Yes, we talked to you before, so I'm just curious, how did everything turn out?
I mean, I think we got great audiences. People were into it. They were cheering right alongside.
Not everybody lived.
Yeah, certainly not everyone lived.
Well, it's Shakespeare.
In particular, my husband was stabbed in character, and I loved that scene. Actually, that's not true. My favorite scene when he's arguing with his wife, and everyone's going, "No, don't go," and I just yell out from the corner, "Listen to your wife," and everyone just kind of snickers.
And that was what was so cool about that show too, especially I think at our performance at the Benson Theatre. We really got the thing that is so exciting about the kind of Shakespeare that we do, which is a lot of audience interaction. Mm-hmm. There were several moments where in that thing that Grace just referenced. So after you did that, Grace, there was a minute of the audience arguing with each other as to whether Caesar should listen to his wife.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Before the show could keep going.
Oh, that is fantastic.
And people kind of rooting for his death a little bit in some ways.
Because he didn't listen to her.
No. Yeah.
Look what happened. You didn't listen to your wife. You get stabbed by a bunch of senators.
That's just a lesson for all husbands across the nation.
Oh, there you go.
I love it. And speaking of Benson, are you guys back at Benson this time with Midsummers?
Mm-hmm.
We're back at Benson. It's our opening show
Awesome.
on Thursday, the 25th of July.
Mm-hmm.
They've been so good to us. This is, I think, our 4th show that we've done there. We started there with Much Ado,
Cool.
like about 2 years ago. They've been so great to us, and they're amazing.
It's such a
Benson so
cool
much.
space, too,
It
man.
is.
Oh.
We also have some new spaces, which is pretty exciting. We'll be at the Durham Museum,
Ooh.
and that's actually a ticketed one. And we're gonna be part of their adult night, like close up one of the galleries, make it into a bar type of thing.
Cool.
And then we're at Camp in Blackstone, as well as a new place, Alice Cocktail Bar, which is farther out west, but that's got an Alice in Wonderland theme, and it should really mix well with the magical themes of Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally. That'll be awesome. That is perfect. That is perfect.
And then we'll end at our Site-1, which is like kind of our home base. We started there. We always do a great show there. So that'll be our last show, and it'll be nice to finish it out that way.
So in all of these places, you're not using the stages at all. You're still staying in the audience to do all of the shows. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually, especially like in the Benson Theater, we intentionally put like seating on the stage.
Oh, good idea.
So that it doesn't turn into people go on the stage and start performing there.
Right. It doesn't turn into
Right.
some central location. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a great idea.
And that way people don't expect us to be there, so that they know that it's going to be all around, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're selling tickets, you might as well sell as many tickets and spaces as you can, too, on top of it all.
Yeah.
So,
True.
Yeah, and for the most part, we don't actually sell tickets. We are, kind of a first come, first serve. And the only place that's slightly different is Durham. They're going to be a pre-ticketed event. So the tickets, I believe, are $20. And we always have a suggested donation of $20.
Okay.
And then Alice is a place that we expect to fill up. They just have a really good built-in audience for these kinds of things, but we still expect some walk-in.
Oh, okay.
Space.
Okay. Sure.
that's great.
Very nice.
So, for your season, have you planned your next season yet? I'm sorry, I don't know when your season comes out. So,
It's
and
kind of
I can
one at a
edit this out,
time.
but
Are you guys just taking it one at a time? Yeah.
okay.
That's some of the thing of it, right? It's that, we're actually probably, Grace, we should probably start talking about the fall. But
We should, yeah.
but it's like a lot of times when we start getting towards the end of one project, start talking about capacity and availability for folks as it relates to our next project, right? I would say broadly, like OSSO at max does like 3 shows a year in our current model, quote unquote. Like a show in the fall, a show in the spring, and a show in the summer.
That being said, we didn't do one last fall because we kind of all looked at each other and went, "We're super busy.
Right.
Let's not."
Yes.
Right. So you have about I'm sorry, I'm trying to count here. So I think you have like 3 or 4 people that have founded this together. Have you guys founded it together, kind of?
Yeah, Old School Shakespeare, the 2 primary folks, so Katie and Sarah were kind of our 2 folks who are co-conspirators who kind of came together to work through. They were our initial captain and first mate.
Katie Becker, Clone, and Sarah Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really wonderful.
Yeah.
They kind of started the kit and caboodle with a group of people, and then it's kind of expanded. Every time.
Yeah. It's kind of become a family.
It's kind of become our model to try and shift like leadership as well.
Yeah.
So that different people are learning and getting the training to like kind of facilitate. Grace kind of referenced one of our guiding things, which is that our shows don't have a director, right?
Yeah.
Grace and myself, neither of us are directors. I'd say we're more stage managers than anything, like in practice.
Okay.
We do organizing and chat with people and make sure people are on top of their things and all that, right?
Check in with people, just make sure that there's a little bit of accountability. We're all better about going to the gym when a friend calls us and says, "Let's go." It's kind of a similar type of thing.
Right. That's great. Well, I love this different model. So, and I'm sorry to ask so many weird questions about it, but I love this model because theater does take up so much of people's time when you're in a production. This actually kind of makes it so that you're kind of spreading it out with other people, and then you're not having 6-week rehearsals on top of it all, so people can commit.
It gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
But it does mean you have to be more accountable, and so being part of our group is very important that you will be accountable, because literally everyone's depending on you.
Right.
For sure.
You don't have somebody every rehearsal telling you to.
Yeah. Did you get your lines yet? Yeah,
your
or whatever.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have some
We'll find out if we do at the one rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everybody panics. Hopefully not.
right.
So
Ah!
hopefully that won't
There's always
happen.
like getting it on your feet. You kind of forget lines. So there's always that momentary panic.
Well, sure. I know. I know. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, oh, I got my lines. And then you stick a prop in your hand and you forget everything. It's like, what happened?
Exactly.
And I mean, that's why a function of what we do, and people will see this at any of our venues, is because it's only had one rehearsal, and even though we are all brilliant and serious actors, that happens. You know,
Sure.
you forget your line, or you have a brain fart or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a prompter who will be on book during the show. At any point, an actor can call for line if they need it. We encourage the audience, if somebody calls for line, great, cheer and take a drink of whatever libation you are choosing for the day, be it water or alcohol or whatever.
It's a way to take that stigma off calling line and just like make it a celebratory thing. Like, we're all here, we're going together.
That's cool.
Right.
I enjoy that.
Love it.
Do you guys have any new folks to this production this time around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, who's new in this one?
So
That's
Ryan
awesome.
Kaufman, he's new, and he's going to be
Ryan.
playing Thisbe.
All right.
And I forget his mechanical name because we talk so much about Thisbe.
Oh, Francis Flute.
Francis, yes,
Flute.
Flute. So he's joining us this time.
Yay.
We also have Anna Preston, young actress, currently a student at Creighton, I believe,
All right.
joining us for, what's her part again, Jay? You're better at this.
Yeah, Anna Preston is playing Snug the Joiner, the lion's part.
Yes. Cool.
Peas Blossom, one of the fairies.
Yes.
What's so
Blossom.
wonderful about that I love about this cast is that we have. It's so wonderful to find a diversity of age in the folks who are working with us. You know, not to sorry if you're listening to this, Anna. It's really cool because Anna was a student of mine.
Hey, cool.
Really cool to do a show with her.
Yeah, for sure.
I think everyone else you've seen probably on stage in a show before.
For sure.
Ben Pearson.
Oh, he's our prompter this season. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is his first one with us. Ben Pearson, our prompter. He's great.
Cool.
He's been I'm so happy it finally worked out because Ben has been trying to do a show with us for a while, and it finally worked out for schedules.
Nice.
He's awesome.
Awesome.
Great. Yeah. What a great cast. It sounds like you have a lot of really seasoned people, and I know, Ryan, he's a friend of the podcast. He's been on our podcast before.
Yes, he has.
And I know he's a professor down in Lincoln, and I know Shakespeare is kind of his jam. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great to be able to get him to be part of this. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, it's neat. I love being able to work with a younger person, then come back and work with them years later. And that's so much fun to hear about getting to work with one of your students and all that. I've had that experience a few times where you work with them when they're kind of kids, and now they're teenagers, and you get to work with them again, and they're totally it's so much fun.
When you get to hire one of your ex students, I also had that where I was like, this is
cool.
full circle. I love it.
I love that. That's so cool.
So where did you teach before?
Oh, at the Rose Theater.
Oh, at the Rose?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so grew up in our programming, did a lot of stuff with us, all that great stuff.
That's awesome.
And Grace, where did you teach?
So I am originally from upstate New York before moving to Omaha.
Yeah.
And I ran education programs at a Broadway touring house up there. So I wasn't necessarily a teacher. I was the administrators, but that makes all the students mine.
I would say yes. They see everybody. Yes.
And I used to run, we had 22 summer programs or something like that.
Wow.
pre-COVID.
That's great.
No, it was a great time.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, sounds like you have a really seasoned cast.
Yeah.
All of you are very seasoned, and so I can understand why you could put something together and not have so much rehearsal time, because you've got a lot of people who just have a lot of experience behind them. So
I got it
And
handled.
a lot of trust.
yeah, a lot of trust as well.
And
That's
a great,
great.
and a really great atmosphere. I love
I like that model.
Yeah.
And then you can still live and do the rest of your life that you have to do.
Just there's no requirement. Like, you do whatever part is available to you at that time. And, I am not much of an actor or actress, right? So I'm not going to take big parts or anything like that. Or you can say, I want to take the big juicy part. And I want to, I got the time, I got the bandwidth kind of thing. And it's really nice to be able to say that and work within that, because normally you're just kind of auditioning and hoping for the best.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Oh, I love this model, and I'm really excited for you guys, and I hope it's super successful, and I look forward to what you're going to do in the fall.
Yes.
It's really fun. It takes a lot of courage. Something that we're doing, this is what that made me think of. Courage is one of the values that we say, like, move through the fear, because it's really scary to do a play like this.
For sure.
And I think some of the most courageous folks in our current ensemble for this show are Matthew Olson and Hannah Clark, who are taking the role of Puck, and it is split into two, and so they'll be sharing the role.
Oh, neat.
With the named characters of Puck and Robin, so they'll be kind of a dynamic duo through the show.
Oh, wow.
That was a choice I heard we were doing, and I looked at that, and I went, I can't handle that right now.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
Yeah. And I'm excited because I still, like, I've talked to them a little bit, but like, I think they're kind of two sides of the same coin, but also like, I don't know, a little bit of a devil, a little bit of an angel. Like, I don't know. I'm excited for what that's going to become. And I think the audience is going to be like influencing that.
And what's so cool is longtime OSSO folks will remember them as our Benedict and Beatrice from when we did Much Ado.
Nice.
Yes,
And
yes.
Them splitting Puck is so exciting.
They're just a great pairing.
That makes sense, especially for fairies,
Yes.
Yeah.
since they are nice and also mischievous. Well, there's different kinds of fairies, but I won't get into that. That would be my rabbit hole.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, well, this is great. And I think this Alice one will be also really fun.
That'll be a neat venue.
What a great venue for this particular production.
Yeah.
So, what else do we want to go, babe? Anything else we want to talk about?
Jay, do we want to talk about our values?
Yeah,
All
I
of
say
them?
you want to talk about the company itself?
Oh, sure.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about you guys again. I know we talked a little bit about the last time we talked, but it's been a while, so let's talk about it again. Just a little bit about the Old School Shakespeare sort of company and what you guys like to reflect and the atmosphere you guys like to foster there.
And I can move
Yeah,
this to the...
OSSO, Old School Shakespeare, is based on kind of a model that was developed by a group in Chicago called the Backroom Shakespeare Project. One of their founders wrote a book that we kind of model ourselves after called My Life with the Shakespeare Cult. I like to describe to people that I'm part of a cult. When I
A
talk
good
about
one.
OSSO.
A good cult.
Just
A good one. We go through an auditing process and everything.
No, we don't.
So what drives our time are values, because we don't have a traditional rehearsal process. And so we kind of have everybody buy into a collection of values that help do the storytelling to make sure that we're like helping each other out, basically. Those are courage, clarity, authenticity, actuality, velocity, and generosity, which are all kind of $10 words, but all have their own little tagline.
Yeah, I think it's a neat model. I think it's fantastic what you guys are doing. I just love it, and I'm a sucker for anything Shakespeare. So give me more. I love it.
Well, and I like that it's kind of bringing Shakespeare in just a different mode in a way. It's not, it's not on stage with costumes and all of that. It's bringing Shakespeare to more of a mode that probably Shakespeare would like even more, I would think.
Oh yeah, it was for the people.
Yeah.
It was for regular folks, man. Yeah.
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 And that's, please.
We have really tried to focus on how it is based on in Shakespeare's day, right? You went to the Globe back then. First of all, it smelled terrible.
Yes.
Everybody was, skipping the afternoon of work to go to the show. They were probably drinking a lot. They were bringing stuff to throw at the actors if they were bad. Please don't throw stuff at us. Just a side note, we don't encourage that. There was literally bear baiting where dogs would fight a bear. And that would like amp up the crowd for this.
Yeah.
So it's, without going fully Shakespearean, we're putting it at a bar so you can get a little tipsy. We are doing a version of bear baiting, which is amping up the crowd without anyone hurting each other.
Sure.
It's a PETA-friendly version.
It's a PETA-friendly version.
There we go.
and then, we roll right into the show and we expect the audience to be just as much of a co-conspirator. And, as any actor knows, every show is different. And I think with this show specifically, or this model, it literally forces every show to be different because I am not making the same entrance and exits. I am not having the same interaction because you're all of a sudden across from me instead of where we were the other time where we were closer.
Cool.
I've got a literal different audience member who I'm having that conversation with. So it really forces the actors to stay on their toes. And that, I think, bleeds into the authenticity and the actuality that are some of our values, that really forces that upon it, even when you're a little scared of it, I think, at times.
And in this show, people can anticipate, there'll be a lot of singing in this show. It's a very musical play, especially from our fairies.
Yes.
They can anticipate, there might be some folks asked to help out at certain points. That's all I'll say.
See, I love that. And,
audience participation.
and that's that's one of the things that I really like about what you guys are doing, especially with Shakespeare, is making it interactive and letting people participate. I think in a very clever way, it makes people almost sort of pay attention and hone in more and not just sit there and be intimidated and go, I don't understand what this is about. You know what I mean? And you get that. And now it's like they're listening and they hear people commenting, and that's just going to help further understanding of the story and what's going on and gets them into it. And now you're going to maybe ask for volunteers at some point for something, which is even better. And
we've done that before. We did that in Much Ado.
yes,
So
I love that. I think that's fantastic. It just it gets more people to understand Shakespeare and get into it and realize that this stuff is really great, even though it was written hundreds of years ago. It's still good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the stories still apply, right? Like Disney uses them, so
Yes.
so why can't we still use
I
them?
know.
Right.
I love it.
But I think that is one of the lovely things about doing this is people coming up afterwards and going, "Oh my God, I knew what happened in the show," because the heightened language is so scary to people that they think I'll never understand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not that much smarter, and I get it. So
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I just love that. I think that's totally cool.
Well, I love the mode of it, and I love that you guys always stay true to Shakespeare, that people can come to one place, basically, for you, and always expect that they're going to get a Shakespearean experience. That's fun.
and free at most of our sites, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Really accessible. We want you to be able to come and understand it and see it and interact with it. We have a few of our locations. One in particular, Durham Museum, that's the only pre-ticketed event this time. That's new for us. But all of our other locations are, walk up. It's free. And we hope that you, give us a little Venmo or a little cash at the end, because we did take some time to do this. But
Right.
if that's not available, that's okay.
And what happens with that money? OSSO operates with no overhead. So basically, when money is donated to the actors, we split it evenly among the company, and people take home what was donated to us.
Nice, very nice.
No matter the level of role or anything like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love it.
Like a true pirate ship.
I can say you're like a bunch of pirates. I love
I was
it.
gonna say, yeah, it's all very
Except we're
piratey.
not looting, but yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet. Depends on the show.
Got to find a show where we can loot
That's
now.
right.
Right. Well, Captain and First Mate, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about this, and we wish you all the luck. And if there are more locations, is that going to be a possibility? I know last time you added some locations.
Or are you set in stone?
Well, right now we are at our 5 for this one.
Okay.
If we have more locations in the future, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Every time I've done a show with OSSO, we add another performance.
Yeah.
Go.
So we're slowly
In the
upticking,
next,
but
Yeah.
we got to keep the flexibility. We want to keep it very manageable for the crew.
Right.
For sure.
So right now what it is, it's July 25th at Benson Theatre at 7 o'clock, July 26th at Durham Museum at 7, July 28th at Camp the Food Hall at 2 p.m. next to the Blackstone Theater. And then July 31st at 7 p.m. at Alice Omaha, which is on Wright Street. August 2nd at 7 p.m. at Site-1 Brewery.
That is correct.
Awesome.
Perfect. Well, good luck to you.
I love it. Yes.
Thank
break
you so
all
much
the
for
legs.
taking the time to talk to us, especially you, Jay, because I know you're traveling. So I really appreciate
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I know that was probably not easy to do, so I appreciate
Thank you,
joining
thank you.
us.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you both. This was great.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.